Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Lyme disease Q&A. Tell me, how is my sound? Can you hear me okay? So I'm here today with my friend Kelly and Evelyn and Heather joining us. And today we're going to talk about Lyme disease. So good, I sound good. So I want you guys to know that I'm not an expert, and I'm here to facilitate, and because I have a lot of farmer friends and a good amount of subscribers, I'm hoping that we can get the message out and get some key points on the board so that anyone who stops by can gain some knowledge about Lyme disease. So I have my little sign over here, knowledge will save the day. So we all hope that love would save the day, but in this case, let us get knowledge about Lyme disease and let us protect our family. So, okay, I'll just go ahead and talk about why I'm here talking about Lyme disease also. And thank you for joining us. I did not know the seriousness of Lyme disease, but I have a really good excuse. I grew up on the Big Island of Hawaii, which is the one state out of 50 states that does not have a Lyme disease epidemic. Thankfully, they also don't have snakes, so if you don't like snakes, Hawaii is a place for you. Hi, Kim. Hi, you guys. Thank you for joining. So, I didn't know the dangers. I didn't know how bad it was, but heaven sent a friend named Kelly, and we met through online teaching, and you guys already know that, you guys who are here. But I wanted to start out with what is Lyme disease, and then I want to share a little bit of Kelly's story with you, but you who are here already know. Oh, Cloyd, you're here. Wonderful. And Cloyd lives in Louisiana as well. So Kelly is our expert, and she is here in the comments. So have any of you ever heard someone say that Lyme disease does not exist where you live? Because a lot of people get told that. Please don't listen to that. Please take precautions. Ticks are like any other animal. They can travel, and Lyme disease is contracted through ticks. So let's talk about some basics, and let's get it up on this board for anybody that shows up late to our meeting. So Lyme disease is a bacterial infection, and it is spread by ticks. And they're also known as deer ticks, and on the West Coast, they're known as black-legged ticks. If you guys are wondering, I am reading from a website called lymedisease.org. So let's write that up here. All right, so what is Lyme? Bacterial infection. Not just any bacterial infection, though. I don't know about this writing on the board thing, you guys. Okay, so they're typically found in wooded and grassy areas. So a lot of people think of Lyme disease as an East Coast disease, but it is found throughout the United States and in more than 60 other countries. And the CDC, Center for Disease Control and Prevention, estimate that 300,000 people are diagnosed with Lyme in the US every year. And just to put that into facts, that is 1.5 times more than the number of women diagnosed with breast cancer and 6 times the number of people diagnosed with HIV. So this is something that is spreading, and it is something to worry about. Okay, so, and Kelly said this is the most accurate website. So Lyme disease affects people of all ages. It is most common in children, older adults, and fire rangers, park rangers, and firefighters who spend a lot of time outdoors. If you are watching this and you go hunting, you go fishing, you live in the country like me, and you step outside the door and there's tall grass, this is important. Now, I wanted to tell you guys something. After I made my video and posted it to YouTube, My daughter said, "Come see, Mama, there are 2 bugs in my room." And I went into her room, you guys, and there was a tick. There was a tick. So I kicked my cat out because I had powdered my cat, and we'll talk about how to protect your animals. But I'm not taking any chances, you guys. A tick in her bed, no. So here's what I did. Hold on. Oh, I just realized I forgot all of my supplies. I put it in a bag. So this is what you can do if you get a tick. Find a tick. You can put it in a plastic bag with moist cotton balls. Here he is. Oof. You can send this in to the health department. They will test it for Lyme disease. Be sure to ask them to test it for Lyme disease so that they do not just test it for what kind of tick it is, because that has happened. Ask them to test it for Lyme disease. I'm going to see if I have any ticks on my dogs, and I'm going to send in a separate one from my animals. But I'm not taking any chances. It's free to get it tested, and it's good to know. I'll be right back. I have to get my 2 other things to show you how to prevent. Okay? Be right back. Okay, I'm back. You're such an attentive class. Yes, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. And I'm just going to keep going. And if you have a question, put it in all caps so that Kelly or I can see it and answer. So I'm going to share with you how to prevent. Let's start there. And I really want to share stories with you that will make you realize that this is not just a little infection. This is not something that you can just take care of easily. So prevention is key. So let's start with prevention, okay? Oh, I'm nervous, you guys. This makes me nervous. Prevention. All right. Number one thing I'm going to do this weekend is make sure that our grass is all cut short, right? Because ticks love tall grass. Okay. Now, something to know is that you don't always get a bullseye rash. And you can look up what the bullseye rash looks like, and you want to look out for that. But if you're bitten by a tick, don't wait for a bullseye rash. Send the tick in to be tested. Go to the doctor and get tested. Evelyn, you're making me laugh. The other thing to know is there is a 50% false negative on the test. So if you go to the doctor and they tell you you don't have Lyme, but you have all the symptoms, there's a high chance that you do have Lyme. Right. Don't always get a bullseye rash. That's right, Evelyn. I want to share with you guys, Kelly sent me a movie in the mail. Thank you, Kelly. And it's called Under Your Skin. I'm going to write it right here. It is a great movie. It was on Netflix, but I couldn't find it on Netflix. So Kelly sent me this movie called Under Your Skin. You guys, I sat there with my children and watched this movie with my mouth hanging open and tears in my eyes, because what Lyme disease can do to people's lives is so scary. And the reality check for me was too much to not share. So that's why I'm here. So it's called Under Your Skin. And in this movie, in this documentary, these people were sharing so many things. Thank you, Grateful Limey. This is someone that posted a video yesterday. Thank you for being here. Like I said, I'm not an expert, but I'm just learning, and so I want to share. Yes, prevention. Prevention. Okay, so to protect your skin, I have all these things in my hand. This is my choice because this is just a lemon eucalyptus. Hey, that's my husband, hot for a teacher. Oh, hey, honey, don't text and drive or watch me on YouTube and drive. Yes, the Grateful Limey, please tell us about you. I'd love you to share anything about your story. And in just a minute, I'm going to share my friend's story. And so anyhow, this I was told, ranks very high on the Lyme disease prevention list. This does not have DEET in it, just lemon, eucalyptus, repel. Get yourself a skin protectant to spray on your body before you go outside, right? We're all trying to use this in the summer because of West Nile and everything. Lyme disease is so much more prevalent than West Nile. It is just unreal. I wish I could show you the chart that I saw. Okay, so protect your skin and your children's skin, right? Okay, next thing that I purchased is this. This is permethrin, okay? This one here says livestock and premise spray, a broad spectrum multi-use insecticide for cattle, beef, goats, sheep, swine, horses, and poultry. This is not for your body, you guys. Oh, and Kelly said that this repellent was on the Consumer Reports top 10, okay? 100% natural, all of my sweet hippies out there, because that's me. I'm always like, oh, I don't want the chemicals. I don't want that. So this is permethrin. You dilute it. This is for your clothing and your animals. So I had to run outside and get it, you guys, because I was actually using it. Good question there, Alaskan Bush. I do not know the answer to that question. So this is $7 at Tractor Supply. You spray this on your clothing while you're not wearing your clothing. You can spray it on your socks and your shoes. This will kill the ticks if they crawl up your shoes and socks. So you spray your clothes and your shoes that you're going to wear outside, then you leave them outside for about 2 hours to air out. Okay, use caution. This is, these are chemicals here. Okay, you can also spray this on your animals, but not your cats, So, your dogs and all the other things that I listed, but I only have dogs and a rabbit. So spray this on them, spray this on their beds. How often, Kelly, do you spray your animals with permethrin? Hope I'm saying that right. Okay, so this is prevention. Let's have me write this up here. Skin protection, and then clothing. Okay. Another thing for the prevention. Send in a ticket. I mean, why not? It's free. Oh, thank you, honey. Thank you for watching. Okay, so it's free to send it in and test the tick. Why not do it? See what you're working with. It's not being paranoid, it's being safe. So I've had someone tell me, well, I'm not going to worry about everything and just sit around and worry. And now I think it's time to share a little bit of a story about what Lyme disease can do to your body. So first, let's go into treatment. This can be a little controversial. This is just what I have learned, and that is that you have a short window to get a very strong antibiotic to hopefully kill this bacteria, okay? The antibiotic is called doxycycline, okay? I'll write that here, doxycycline. All right, now, this is a very strong antibiotic that can eradicate the Lyme if it is taken quickly enough. I can't tell you that it will 100% cure the Lyme, but you have to be your own advocate if you think that you have contracted Lyme disease. Doctors will not prescribe this to children under 12 because it's a very strong antibiotic and it will turn their teeth yellow. So you have to fight for your treatment. And that is just the beginning, you guys. This is just scratching the surface of this disease. But this is what we can know now, that if you see the rash, if you have symptoms, let's talk about the symptoms, you guys. And I think my friends can help me talk about symptoms. And I'm going to read some of the chat for just a minute and take a breath. Okay, so Kim said, aren't ticks active in fall and winter too? Okay, good question. The Grateful Limey, thank you. Wow. Okay, so you were infected in 2012 and diagnosed with arthritis. So you were misdiagnosed with arthritis when it was really Lyme, right? 3 years later, you could not walk at all, and finally diagnosed in 2015. So what do they do? Like, the thing is, doctors don't know, and I've watched this movie, you guys. I don't even know how to express this, that doctors often don't even know that you have Lyme. They might tell you you have chronic fatigue. They'll tell you that you're faking it. And I've heard that from so many people, and that just breaks my heart. Symptoms. Okay, here we go. And Kelly said they're more active in spring and summer, but don't get too comfortable in the fall and the winter. Okay, yes. Oh, thank you, Heather. All right, if there's mud on the ground, there's active ticks. Yes. I've been trying to talk to people and just, some of them just think that I'm just being crazy, but you know what? It's better safe than having to have a disease that right now there is no cure for. And that just breaks my heart, you guys. I was watching this documentary, Under Your Skin, with my son, who's 11. And we were looking at these doctors who are researching and trying to find a cure, and bless their hearts. These are people that change the world, people that go against the status quo and say, I'm going to find a way. I was crying, and no one in my family has Lyme, but I'm just concerned. I live on 5 acres, and all around me are trees, and I'm a farmer. So this is concerning to me. The average Lyme patient takes 2 to 5 years to be diagnosed properly, right? So symptoms, let's talk about symptoms, okay? Here we go. Headaches, joint pain, heart problems, neurological symptoms, hearing, seeing, headaches, and brain fog. Yeah. So, and fibromyalgia, and yes, just anyone, if you're out there and you have a disease that no one can diagnose, look into Lyme disease, and there are treatments. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit about my friend Kelly's story, if that's okay with Kelly. Your friend Kim, let's see, what is this? Okay, Grateful Limey, what are you sharing? A symptom quiz. Thank you so much. Kim said my friend was diagnosed with Lyme and later with fibromyalgia. Not sure, knows if they were probably connected. Right, well, what I learned from the movie that I watched is there's a lot of diseases that don't have a known cause, right? Like Alzheimer's, and is it ALS? I'm sorry, but these things that they don't know where it came from. They could be bacterial. So is this causing it? This is something to be concerned about. Okay, I'm going to read you guys a little bit about my dear friend Kelly's story. So here we go. So Kelly said, in my own life, my daughter Capri has been dealing with Lyme disease for 8 years. It's stolen her entire childhood. It started in first grade when she was only 6. She is 14 now and in high school. Off and on throughout the years, she's had to miss school due to pain, sickness, and doctor's appointments. She's seen 2 Lyme specialists as well as many other types of doctors due to the havoc it's wreaked on her whole body. She even lost her ability to walk for a week 2 different times. She's seen heart doctors, neurologists, optometrists, ophthalmologists, physical therapists, vision therapists, and counselors, and more. She's been to several hospital ERs, including Children's Hospital. She's had 8 MRIs at the time now. She's had many other types of tests and procedures, too many to count. She has had a PICC line. She currently still has a port and gets weekly IV treatments. She used to get daily antibiotics and other medications through them, as well as she takes insane amount of medications and herbals every day just to get better. I don't even know what a PICC line is. Is a PICC line, is that a permanent IV spot? Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. You think just a couple of weeks of antibiotic and the person is cured. If Lyme disease is not caught quick enough and it gets to the chronic state, it can be very hard to cure and it can wreak havoc on your life. Think in terms of diseases like fibromyalgia, MS, Parkinson's, and ALS. The Lyme spirochete, the bacteria is shaped like a corkscrew. So it can drive into your joints, your organs, your tissues, and it hides there. And it wreaks havoc on all parts of your body, including your nervous system, your heart, your brain, and your joints. Some Lyme patients are wheelchair bound and bedridden. Many are unable to walk and go to school. Dancers, sports players, and marathon runners are bedridden. So if you find a bullseye rash, you do have Lyme disease, you are CDC positive, you now have a short window of time to get it treated with doxycycline. Oh, there's an E on the end of that. And you can be cured quickly. The problem is that many never see a rash or it's not a perfect bullseye. Doctors don't give them antibiotics. And like I said, doxycycline is not given to children under 12. The tests for Lyme disease are 50% accurate, so many doctors get tested and get diagnosed with different things. And often they're told that they're faking it. They have pain all over their bodies, but the doctors can't find anything wrong, so they blame the patient. And they're sent to a psychiatrist and told it's all in their heads. The pain is invisible to others. It's in the joints, nerves, and head. I'm sorry, Kelly, I just kind of read your whole script. But I mean, that's just, if that doesn't get your attention, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. You can just go ahead and log out of here. But to me, that just blew my mind. And I feel so much for Kelly and for her daughter. So Kelly's going to be making a video all about that. And so you can hear it straight from her, because that was just me reading her story. Yes, okay, Under Your Skin is on Amazon. Okay, so watch this, you guys. I watched this yesterday, and just seeing these people being completely debilitated, and I mean, we have to protect ourselves and protect each other. So, yes, thank you. Okay, so the PICC line is a temporary for IV treatments. It goes through the arm and into the heart. Whoa. I had one for 8 months. It's no fun. Wow. Wow. Heather, you said your mother had one. Yes. Thank you for being here, my new friend. Thank you so much, Grateful Limey. She's so bold to have that for her name. I know that I saw her channel, and she uses a lot of essential oils and natural things. So Kelly, the treatments, there is not necessarily a cure. So what kind of treatments are they doing? They are just, what kind of things do you do? What kind of things do you have to do with your daughter? I know you said physical therapy. Thank you. Thank you. I am not on Facebook, but for anyone who is on Facebook, the Grateful Limey just shared her essential oils and Lyme support group. So I know Kelly will be joining that for sure. If I was on Facebook, I would definitely support you there. Thank you for being here. So tell me, you guys, do you have any questions? My question was, this tick that I found was not engorged. It was just a little tick. And I said to Kelly, can I still send this in to be tested if it's not engorged? Yes, you can, she said. Let's talk about when you get a tick on your body and it is into your skin. What do you do? Okay, so removing the tick. Do not use Vaseline, okay? So we're gonna put that right here, no Vaseline. I wish that more people were here to hear this, but maybe they'll watch the playback. I don't know, but you just gotta do what you can. So no Vaseline, because the Vaseline causes the tick to regurgitate into your skin, and that would be them regurgitating the Lyme disease if they had it. So No Vaseline. You want to get tweezers, pull the tick straight out by the head. No Vaseline. I'm really bad with my dogs. I don't even like to take them off, but I'll bet your bottom dollar if one gets on my kid, I'm getting that thing out properly. So use tweezers, pull straight out from the head. So I recently also took my daughter to the doctor because she had a bite on her bottom, and it had like some stuff inside of it, and it was red. And I was paranoid, but rightfully so, right? Because I found a tick in her bed the next day. But the doctor didn't think it was anything. He squeezed it out and it's healing. But I'm checking my kids now, you guys. You come in, I'm spreading things. I'm looking under things in here, warm places where ticks like to go. My animals are all outside animals now. I have a shaker for my cat to dust her for ticks. I also use diatomaceous earth on my dogs to prevent, fleas and ticks. So those are natural things that I do for prevention. Vitamin C IV. Many things. Oh, use a vitamin C to boost the immune system. Yes. Yes, Kelly has had to seek out special doctors, and her daughter is homeschooled because she has so many appointments and because she has chronic fatigue. So my heart just breaks for her. You want the best for your children, and now Kelly is having to just do everything she can. And I know it's hard because it's out of your power at this point. I mean, still you're doing everything you can, and I just. Not all doctors are he's. So you have a really good doctor, Kelly. That's so good. I watched, on this movie, people going and moving states to go to a new doctor. And I know probably there's not many good ones here in Louisiana if need be. So, find a doctor who will help you. So often in this day and age do we have doctors that they just go by the book, you guys. It's not their fault. They're not bad people, but they have someone telling them what to do, telling them what to say, what not to say, And so I feel like there is a bit of a conspiracy going on there. But that's me. I will tell you guys that I just got my children vaccinated for measles because of the measles outbreak. And I have not been a vaccinator for quite a while, but I am starting to look into what I need to do to protect my children because I want to do the best I can. We all want to do the best we can for our children. So, yes. Oh, your doctor was on the movie. Wow. Wow. Yes. Sorry, my daughter just came in here. So my kids are 4 and 11, and they're always outside. So spraying the shoes and socks, I think, has to be pretty important there. And taking a shower and checking your kids. I don't know what else to say, you guys. I really don't. So please ask questions because we have an expert here. What else could we want to know? Right. I hear you, Heather. I know it was a tough one for me as well. Wow, your first doctor was the one losing his license in North Carolina on the movie. Wow. Did he lose his license why did he lose his license, Kelly? Good question, Heather. How soon do you see the symptoms of Lyme after the bullseye? Good question. Yes. It just breaks my heart that there's not always a bullseye and that there are not always symptoms right away. So all that says to me is be a psycho, be crazy, be that crazy Beverly Goldberg mom that's like, let me see in your armpit, let me check you, because be on it that day, take showers. For treating Lyme disease in North Carolina, he moved to Washington, D.C. Right. So it all comes down to money, right? In the end, they don't want to pay out all this money for treating chronic Lyme disease because they can't cure it, they can't put a finger on it. There's so much treatment, so they're just, there's bureaucracy, like Heather said. So be your own advocate, as with how many vaccines that your kids get in one doctor visit. Oh my goodness. I just went back and looked at my son's, because when he was born 11 years ago, I was just like, well, what? You tell me to do something, I'll do it, right? It was before I woke up to, you don't have to do everything that people tell you to do. You don't have to do what your doctor tells you to do. You need to do your own research. Get out there. Don't just listen to some person who has a degree that you don't have. Okay, right. Heather and Kelly said that her daughter had Lyme symptoms right away, right? But the doctors told Kelly that they would not give her the antidote because she was 6 years old. I know that if Kelly had it to go back, that she would try the doxycycline. And one thing that I was thinking, Kelly, I have a question. I was talking to my husband in the middle, going to sleep and worrying like moms do. And I thought, this is a big reason that I don't use antibiotics for just anything. My kids get an ear infection, I'm going to stick garlic in their ear. I'm going to do everything I can before I use antibiotics. And why? Is because if you use them all the time, your body is not going to react to them anymore. So if we don't use them very often and I need them for something like this, my hope is that it will actually work, that the system will react to it. So, right, antibiotics can lower your immune system because they're killing the good and the bad in your body. So, right, they're in vaccines. I didn't know that. Oh, I need a whole nother video about vaccines. So, yeah. Heather said, my daughter had a tick on her 2 years ago. I was so grateful it was not a deer tick, and she did not develop any symptoms of Rocky Mountain spotted fever or anything else. I know. I was wondering if we're going to get shut down or get trolled by someone because of our title today, because it's controversial, much like vaccines. Yes, do your research. Like Heather's talking about, she's been researching vaccines for years. Do your research. I just urge you guys to take a look at this Lyme disease website. Watch this movie, Under Your Skin, and then show it to your family, because some of my friends are like, oh, I've been dealing with that for years. And I'm like, or I've been having ticks on me my whole life and pulling them off, no big deal. No, guys, this is a big deal. You need to make a big deal about it. Let them think you're crazy. Who cares? So Lyme is called the great imitator. I'm going to read you a little bit about Lyme disease. It's called the great imitator because its symptoms mimic many other diseases. It can affect any organ in your body, including the brain and nervous system, muscles, joints, and the heart. So I know that Kelly's daughter, one of the doctors that she saw, accused her of faking it. Said, I think she's faking it to get out of school. And that happens a lot, guys. So Rocky Mountain spotted fever is the deadliest of all the tick diseases. Wow. Yeah, I hope that this is scaring you today if you're listening to this. I hope that this is lighting a fire under you to go out and get some of this. Buy this permethrin and spray your shoes. My goodness, $7 and a few minutes to spray your shoes. Is that worth the rest of your life? Is that worth, is it worth it to you? Because it is to me. And I don't even like the way this stuff smells, you guys, but at least it's natural. So the longer a tick stays attached to you, the more likely it will transmit the Lyme and other pathogens. So the bite can be painless. And it also says the immature form of the tick, the nymph, is about the size of a poppy seed. And most people get Lyme disease from these tiny little nymphs. Okay? So don't think because it's small, it's not a big deal. Realize that how small this is you've got to get in there and look at it. You've got to check it out. So Lyme disease is found on every continent except Antarctica. It's been found all across the United States, especially in the East, the Midwest, and the West Coast. But that's like everywhere, right? We're in the South, but you know, they move. So not all ticks are infected. But so the tick infection rate can go from 0 to 70% in different areas. And once again, on this movie I was watching, this one whole town was infected one time. Like it just spread and spread and spread throughout the town to where almost everyone in the town had Lyme disease. Oh, Kim, you have an invisible disease, and right, you were sent to a psychiatrist. That happens so often, and that just breaks my heart too, because when someone's telling you that, you might end up thinking that it is in your head. So don't let them tell you that, and listen to your children, please. Hello, Food Forest Permaculture. Hello, Howie. Thank you for joining us. Talking about Lyme disease, how to protect yourself. I know you're in Canada, so are you protecting yourself? Okay, here's the natural body spray. Here's the spray for your Tractor Supply, spray for your clothes and shoes. Protect yourself. Spread the message. Howie, if you can share this live with your friends, share me. I'm just here to spread the message. See what else. Right. I mean, just to have an invisible disease would be so tough. You have dizziness. Oh, Kim, that could be so hard. You're thankful for the psychologist. He proved that you were actually sick. That is good. Thank you, Food Forest Permaculture. I appreciate it. I'm going to stay on here, you guys, for a whole hour. So whatever you want to add to this, I'm going to keep reading. And I'm just hoping that people will stop by and pop in and gain some knowledge. I wish I had my things on a shelf behind me so I could constantly be showing what to use. But let's talk some more. Ask some more questions. Kelly is in the chat to answer your questions. Kelly, how did you know? What were the symptoms that your daughter first had? What would I look out for in my children? Was it just fatigue? And I know that your daughter was bitten on the leg. Yes, any questions? I'm going to go on reading, okay, you guys? All right. So in the South, there's a Lyme-like disease called Southern Tick-Associated Rash. Transmitted by the Lone Star tick. Wow, okay. So this Lyme disease has been reported in certain areas of the South and Southeast. Okay, so I'm just blown away. Let's see what else I can read to you guys. Symptoms. What else do you want to know? So symptoms of early Lyme disease: flu-like illness, fever, chills, sweats, muscle aches, fatigue, nausea, and joint pain. Some people have a rash or Bell's palsy. Interesting. My husband had Bell's palsy when he was a kid, and he still has, one of his eyes still gets a little droopy sometimes. So although a rash like a bullseye is considered characteristic of Lyme disease, many people develop a different kind of Lyme rash or none at all. Okay, so I'm going to look up a bullseye rash really quick. Kelly can tell me if it's a good example, and just so I can show you guys what it would look like. All right, so a CDC report on Lyme carditis, which can be fatal, found that only 42% of cases had a rash. All right, so I'm going to look up this bullseye rash. So there's early Lyme and then there's chronic Lyme, okay? A lot of the symptoms are the same. But so your early Lyme symptoms are fatigue, headache, rash, fever, sweats, chills, muscle pain, joint pain, neck pain, and sleep issues. Wow, guys, some of these things, I have some of these things. My husband has a lot of extra pain, and so I don't think that he has Lyme, but if Lyme disease is not diagnosed and treated early, it may become late stage or chronic. And As you guys know, the CDC does not recognize chronic Lyme. They don't pay for it. So they'll pay for your initial treatment, for the doxycycline if you can get it, but the rest of it you're paying for out of pocket, which is why my friend Kelly has to teach online extensive hours to help pay for her medical bills. Let's see if I can get this image to pull up. Research Lab 257, Plum Island. Okay. Dogs, yes. Deer, elk, moose, and bears carry ticks, and dogs too. And tall grass. I saw in the video they just took this white cloth and drug it through the woods for like 2 seconds, and there the ticks were. And all right, so here, ooh, I think that's a booty. I'm not going to show that. Here are a few pictures of the bullseye rash. So the thing my daughter had looked more like this, but she's been feeling just fine. And but you guys, I just now I am on high alert, and I want everyone else to be on high alert as well. Right, insurance companies do not pay it because the CDC does not recognize it. Yeah, and just to see these people suffering and having twitching in their faces and not being able to walk properly. Like, why is this not more feared? This takes away your life. Let's see. Uh-oh. You cringe when you see them? Who? The CDC or insurance companies? Okay, so Kelly said her daughter's symptoms were chronic fatigue, headaches that felt like ants were crawling around. That's neurological. Lots of joint pain, dizziness, brain fog, shooting pain, sharp stabbing pains. Kelly, bless your heart. I cannot imagine not knowing what is affecting. So most of you have been here since the beginning, but Howie, if you get a tick, you can send it in to get tested to the health department. I have one that I found in my daughter's bed. Freaked out. I freaked out, you guys. I'm still freaked out. I'm sending this into the health department. Hello, Farmer G. Farmer G said, I pulled a tick out of my about 3 weeks ago. Woke up in the middle of the night, big headache. Felt like a massive hangover. Dry heaved a bit, drank water, went back to bed. Farmer G, yes. Can you get Aiden to do it? I'm doing YouTube. Okay. Oh, Farmer G, I'm so glad you're here. Yeah. Okay, there is an antidote, but you have to be quick. It's called doxycycline. It's a very strong antibiotic. Go get it just to be sure. Go quickly. Find a doctor who will prescribe you doxycycline. Don't worry about them treating you or testing you for Lyme disease because there's a 50% false negative. Like literally 50% of people who have chronic Lyme later in their life still test negative. So do not worry about the test. Just get doxycycline. And Farmer G, from now on, when you go outside, put Repel on your body. This is a natural one. This is permethrin. This is from the Tractor Supply. You dilute it and you spray it on your shoes and your socks and your clothing before you put them on. And then you put them on after 2 hours and you wear them outside. Like Kelly said, it's most likely to come up negative, and I'm not trying to scare you, but my goodness, that this disease is debilitating. So please, Farmer G, you're amazing. Go as soon as possible and get this doxycycline. Oh, I'm so glad that you came to my live. I didn't even know that you subscribed to me, Farmer G. Thank you so much for being here. I'm looking at my belly button now, okay? I won't check my armpits in front of you guys, but they like warm places, and there's none in my belly button, so that's good. Okay, so Heather said, Kelly, you found your daughter's bullseye behind the leg. Is that where you found the tick as well, or did you just find the bullseye? And You've been quiet, Farmer G. That's okay. We go back and forth, and I'm just glad you're here today. You know, you're here today for a reason, because if you were feeling really bad, it could have just been a coincidence, but you want to be sure. My children are yelling, even though I told them that they need to be quiet. Excuse me, you will hush your mouth or you will lose your screen time. I am on the internet. Bring it in here. All right, so the one on my daughter, yeah, it doesn't look like a bullseye, but I'm just being extra cautious. All right, Kelly said she never saw a tick, only saw the bullseye rash. So the tick came off on its own. Oh my, yes, I'm opening this ridiculous chocolate / toy thing for my daughter.
Yay, so good. Thank you, guys.
There you go. Goodbye. Shut the door quietly. All right, so we're here for 16 more minutes, you guys, or something. I can't math. 14 minutes. Yeah, so my goodness. I stripped all the beds yesterday. I washed the beds. I did learn, Kelly told me that if you go to a hotel and you're iffy about bed bugs or whatever, that you can spray this on the sheets and then, you know, wait 2 hours and then, you know, get on the sheets. Yeah. So I'm also keeping my son's room really clean and keeping the cat out of the room. The dogs keep trying to eat the cat, but you know what? I'm sorry, kids, but the cat is not as important as staying safe, right? So Kelly, I think I hope that that your daughter she's been so sweet, and she's shared. Kelly sent me pictures of her getting her IV, and you know, I hope that she joins in the fight, because I think that that really helps, you know, to spread the awareness. Right. It could be somewhere that you don't know. I actually was paranoid the other day because I felt something in my ear and I couldn't look in there. So I made everybody look in my ear. But I mean, literally, you guys, I go out in the tall grass and I cut the tall grass to feed the hay, to feed to my rabbit and to put on my garden. And I'm all out in there and not even looking out for snakes or ticks, but now I am. And now I'm spraying my clothes. Kim said, if a tick is full, it will fall off, right? Right. Oh, so yeah, if you didn't find a tick, you may not ever have known if she ever got Lyme. Right. So Heather, did you have her tested and everything's good now? I mean, the biggest things that I have learned, I know this is the end of the video, but the biggest things that I have learned is that there can be a false negative test. And that is huge to me. And also to know that they're going to tell you that they're not going to give you this antidote because it turns the kid's teeth yellow. They're like this with antibiotics for every other thing. They're just like, here's the antibiotics. But when it comes to something that can cure a chronic disease before it becomes chronic, they're like holding back on giving it. It makes no sense to me. I just don't understand. But oh, Kelly said she doesn't like kids her age knowing, so I have to be careful who I share with. Can't say too much about her on Facebook. And Heather, so she's never had any symptoms. Symptoms can take a long time to show up is something that I learned. It can be months and years. So please, just go ahead and, you know, just keep a close eye on her. And I would say get tested, you know, but I'm sure you're fine. Just be aware. Yes, my heart hurts for Kelly and her daughter too. They go through it, and Kelly's just doing the best she can, as any of us would as parents. You know, it wasn't her fault. She didn't know that she could advocate for this treatment. And we want everyone else out there to know that You can advocate for yourself. You can try to treat it as soon as something happens. And don't let people in your life say, oh, I'm fine. You know, like the men in your life who are like, I don't want to spray myself. I don't want to spray my clothes. I've been doing this for years. I've been pulling ticks off me for years. I'm not trying to hear that. Okay?
Hey, can I have a treat? I just ate lunch.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Love you. Good luck.
So food forest permaculture, Howie said, great chat. Clean daily, shave your head and beard. We put a hot cig on the tick and will back out of your skin. Burning the land around the property in early spring helps some. Bye, Howie. Thank you so much for being here, Earthling. Don't burn or put Vaseline. It can cause a tick to regurgitate, says Kelly. Okay, so I'm sorry I said that out loud, but Kelly said not to burn, just pull straight out, and definitely do not use Vaseline. That makes sense, though, if the tick's being burned, that it's going to, you know. So there's a lot of things that people think. They think Vaseline. They think burning. And, you know, we're all just earthlings learning, right? That was my son. He asked me for some candy. Yeah, my son follows my YouTube journey, and I told him yesterday, I said, you know, when I was pregnant with you, no, it was before I was pregnant with him, someone told me that I was going to have a little boy and he was going to change the world. And so when we're watching this Lyme disease documentary yesterday, and there's these doctors who are working on their own time to research and to find a cure, and I said, this is how you can change the world. You know, and I wish I was smart enough to be a scientist like that, you know, and really make a difference, because it's just really, it's so important to make a difference in any way that you can. So you guys, make a difference today. Share my video, subscribe to Kelly, and share her video when it comes out. Share it on your social media, you know, because there might be that one person like Farmer G who just stopped by because he thought, Lyme disease, I had a tick and then I felt weird. And he probably was going to brush it off. But, you know, we might have helped one person, because hopefully he can go, hopefully he listens. So good job, you guys. Good job, Kelly. You know, we may have reached someone today, along with our friends who already come to our live chats and hear what we're saying. So, yeah, try your best, you guys, to squash, no pun intended, but squash those things that people say, like Vaseline and, you know, oh, we don't have Lyme disease in our state. Try to just talk about it, you know. Go Beverly Goldberg on them, you guys. And if you don't know who that is, you should watch The Goldbergs. It's a wonderful comedy. It takes place in the 80s. You know, this life can get really serious, and shows like that really help me. And I feel like I'm totally like that. I'm like, mommy wants you to live here forever. I want to squeeze you. And, you know, she's really overprotective. But you know what? So is my best friend. And she's kind of a hypochondriac with her kids and making sure they're breathing. And I'm going to be that mom now, you guys. So you're welcome. Thank you Kelly. Thank you for sharing with me. Thank you for coming into my life and, you know, helping me and possibly saving my children's lives. You know, I mean, that's a reality, that you could have just saved a life. So, you know, I know that now your battle is still ahead of you with your daughter, but how many lives can you help by spreading this message, you guys? Yeah, I grew up in the 80s too. The 80s are awesome. The times were so much simpler then, and that's one of the reasons that I love it. So everyone in every state, every continent needs to know this. So share it far and wide, you guys, for 6 more minutes. 6 more minutes. Oh, what else? Check your armpits. Well, you guys, it's just us 4 here now, and so I guess we can say goodbye. Protect yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. You know, spray your clothes and your other parts. Yeah, check your other parts. Any other questions can come now. If you're watching this later and you have questions, like Farmer G who came in, Put them below. Put the comments below and we will try to answer. Share this video. Yes, like Kim said, check between your legs, check your belly button, check places, have other people check. I mean, it's more worth it than anything else, you know? And when I think about, I told my husband who smokes cigarettes, I said, it's one thing for you to choose to smoke cigarettes even though you know it causes cancer. But it's another thing when these are our children and they don't know how to protect themselves and they're not making this choice. We have to do this for them. And just do everything you can. Yeah, they like moist places. Yeah. Your brother-in-law had one there before. Yeah. I've actually recently just had people say, oh, well, my uncle has that, my this has that, and you don't realize. But now it's Lyme Disease Awareness Month, so it's time to spread the word. Be annoying. Who cares? Because even though people are like trying not to hear you, if you keep talking and you talk loud enough, they're going to hear you and they're going to hopefully listen. And I told my friends who live in the area, I said, I will share this with you. I will come to your house, get a spray bottle. I will give this to you. You can spray your shoes, you know? Yeah. Yeah, smoking, you know, and I lay off my husband about smoking. That's his choice. You know, I can only change myself, but there are things that we can control, and those are the things that we should try to control. So, any more questions? Go to LymeDisease.org for any questions that you need. Watch Under Your Skin on Amazon and try not to think about, you know, try not to be affected because I promise you, you will. I was sitting there just, I was riveted, and lots of hugs to you guys too. Thank you so much for being here, for being my friends, and just for being awesome. All right. I guess that's it, you guys. I will keep you posted on what happens with the ticks that I send in because I'm now a Lyme disease advocate, you guys. Thank you. Thank you, Farmer G. Take good care. Keep in touch. Keep making videos. Keep growing. All right. Goodbye, you guys. Have a great weekend and stay safe out there.